Japanese tech giant Sony was expected to make big waves at this year's Consumer Electronics Show. Many of those attending were waiting for a glimpse of the newest iteration of the firm's biggest moneymaker, the PlayStation. Instead, Sony delivered a shocker by unveiling a prototype of its first ever electric car, the Vision S.
This prototype embodies our contribution to the future of mobility and contains a variety of Sony's technologies. There are 33 sensors to monitor the outside and inside of the car, proving the viability of sensing features and the capabilities of Sony's solutions.
Not to be outdone, Germany's Audi trotted out an electric self-driving car. Hyundai announced a partnership with Uber for the development of flying taxis. And Mercedes-Benz showed off a concept vehicle inspired by the science fiction movie Avatar.
The leading edge designers at Mercedes working with our designers on Avatar, and they've designed a lot of the vehicles and everything already for films going out many years for me. So now they're itching to do some new stuff.
Electric cars and other futuristic vehicles have become the biggest attractions at the annual trade show, which used to be dominated by smartphones and computers. Car executives say firms are going more high-tech as they shift away from dirty, fuel-burning engines.
The whole automotive industry and Mercedes, we're pivoting. We got to make sure that we solve the CO2 problem.
What's happening at the annual Las Vegas show is also happening around the world. According to market intelligence firm IDC, global smartphone sales are slowing and the personal computer industry is shrinking. Meanwhile, sales of electric cars are expected to reach 10 million units in 2025, from just 2 million in 2018. Paolo Montecillo, TRT World.
Well, for more, let's go to Nick Gibbs, who's at CES in Las Vegas, is a correspondent for Automotive News Europe. Welcome to the program, Nick. Now, the sky was literally the limit at CES this year as car brands, as well as companies like Sony, unveiled the future of driving where you are. What stood out for you?
Well, obviously the Sony car was incredible because nobody knew it was coming. Traditionally, car makers have come here, but they haven't usually sprung surprises. But this time Sony did, and it got the rumour mill going that they were actually going to enter the electric car market and position themselves as a Tesla rival. We've seen that from tech companies before, but this actually isn't Sony's pitch to become a car maker. What it is it's gathering together all the latest tech or future tech that we'll start to see in cars in the next sort of 3-5 years to come into one machine. But it was so impressive because it was so finished. I mean, this looked like a car you could buy out of the showroom. It was a collaboration between a lot of different suppliers, but the overall effect was pretty impressive.
Now, throughout the various launches at CES of these electric vehicles, was the message of the climate crisis, did that factor into why they were designing these electric vehicles?
Yes, I think so. It's always there at the backdrop, and the fact that regulation is driving manufacturers towards electric cars. It's like a no-brainer. It's almost like, well, we have to go there, particularly in Europe, particularly in China. So, we're getting on with it, but also we're making them cooler at the same time, because the manufacturer's problems is that electric cars are more expensive than the equivalent combustion engine cars. So what they have to do, they have to pump it full of tech, make them really sexy, as Tesla has done already. And they demonstrated that with a whole host of new connective technologies that will mean that your car is sort of almost becoming like your home in the way it can deliver information, the way it can make you feel like you're relaxing inside. We saw that with BMW's interior concept that used 5G from Samsung and its division Harman that can pump in a lot more information into the car, and connected services, better voice recognition, and all this stuff it was at the forefront of what manufacturers are thinking about at the CES.
Now, we know Elon Musk's Tesla has really got the jump on all the other car makers when it comes to developing electric vehicles. But at CES this year, we've seen the likes of Jeep, BMW, Mercedes-Benz all unveiling their own versions of an EV. Do you think those car makers has got what it takes really to compete with Tesla, who's far more established in that arena?
Oh yes, I mean there's no doubt that everybody will be coming along and snapping at Tesla's heels. I mean, there's no doubt that Tesla has got a huge head start, and not just because of its cars, but because of its brand, because it's got this cool, funky image, and that's partly because it's not afraid to deliver new stuff, sort of over-the-air updates into the car, changing the car as in the lifespan of the car, and that's what manufacturers want to emulate. They're looking to get their own versions of that. So your car is not just a static object. Well, static as it, once you buy it, it's got these features. What they want to do is keep it evolving throughout the life of that car, and that's what this technology, including 5G or the connectivity, is going to help them do.
Okay, Nick Gibbs, it'll be interesting to see just when these models hit the road. But thank you so much for giving us that update from CES in Las Vegas.